This expense is run by a bunch of investment bankers, and Morningstar's tools can help make quick.
Hi, I'm Christine Benz from Morningstar.com. I'm here today with Larry Kotlikoff. Larry is the author of a new book called Jimmy Stewart is Dead, and he is also author of another book called Spend Till the End, which talks about spending and saving in and before retirement. Larry, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Let's start with spend to the end and talk about the concept there, because it's kind of a contrarian idea. You acknowledge that many people are very underprepared for retirement, but also say some people are saving for retirement.
And the title of this book that I wrote with Scott Burns, who's a syndicated columnist, is it's got a double meaning here. You want to spend, but you want to spend till the end. And you
don't want it to run out.
Yeah, you have to plan to spend right up to your maximum age of life, which could be 100. So we have in our country a lot of people that are undersaving. I would say probably 40% of the population is undersaving, but we also probably have 20% that are oversaving, because it's a very difficult calculation. How much should you spend?
Right.
Traditional financial planning asks you to set some target. They say that's your number. Set your number. Well,
how much you'll need to last you during retirement.
That's an extremely complicated problem. Nobody could possibly do that on his own.
You have to predict your own longevity in a way, right?
Yeah, but even going beyond that, you have to think about all your tax payments every year from age 65 on. You have to think about when you're going to pay your mortgage off. You know, it's just
tax rates, which may change.
Right. It's beyond human capacity. It's like plotting your own trip to the moon when you have no physics background. So what I've developed with my company is a software program called ES Planner, Economic Security Planner. And we have a version that's free to the public on the web. It's at esplanner.com/basic. It's a really cool program. You just go in there. It doesn't take very long. It's very simple to input your family information and your earnings and your assets, your basic information. And the program figures out how much you can spend on a sustainable basis, not just in retirement, but starting right now.
Leading up to retirement.
Yeah, and the idea is that trying to get a smooth living standard per person. So it's figuring out how much discretionary spending per person you should be doing every year to have that level be smooth. And the idea is that some of your spending is not discretionary. That's like a negative income. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay for your college tuition for your kids if you want to do that.
Right.
So it's really saying, let's take the resources, let's figure out the non-discretionary spending. What's left is the discretionary spending power, and let's even that out so that we're not spending all our money on one day, which is not what we want. We don't want to party today and starve tomorrow, and we don't want to do the opposite. We don't want to starve today and party tomorrow. And traditional software tends to lead people to try and get them to starve today and party tomorrow, because then the financial planner gets to manage more assets and charge more fees. And then people are also kind of induced to get into riskier securities in order to make these targets that are far too high for a lot of people. So we want to make so targeting to save too much is not a very healthy thing either, because you could lead yourself into investing in a more risky way than you want to, and secondly, you may not survive. You may die at 65, right on the eve of spending this big pile that you've spent your years accumulating. You may die. So there's a risk in both ways. So there's like a yin and a yang, and economics says you want to have a smooth ride. The other cool thing about the software is it allows you to safely raise your living standard. Once you have a machine that can figure out your living standard, you can figure out how to raise it safely.
How does it deal with unknowables? So the threat of having big unforeseen medical expenses or something like that. How does it tell you to plan for those sorts of issues?
Well, the program runs in 2 seconds. So you can put in what ifs. What if I have a special expenditure on medical? What if I... So you can certainly plan to have a special expense like a nursing home expense for 7 years at a very high cost, and put that into the program and see what your living standard looks like versus buying long-term care and paying every year a special expense which equals the premiums you have to pay every year. So you can make comparisons of your living standard if you buy the long-term care policy versus you just try and self-insure and see how you do. So, you're absolutely right that all these uncertainties that we face, like how much our earnings will be in the future, it's very hard to fully deal with those in a comprehensive manner. So we're trying to keep it simple, but we allow people to enter assumptions, and we caution people to make safe assumptions. The middle name of our software is security. So we're assuming a very low rate of return after inflation, and we're telling people, take your current earnings and assume you're going to make the same thing in the future, not a higher pay.
Right. Well, Larry, it sounds like an interesting program. It's esplanner.com and
/basic, yeah.
/basic. So that's the free version. Thanks so much. Sounds like well worth checking out.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Benz from Morningstar.com.
At Morningstar, we feel it is important to schedule regular checkups of your investments. This is the reason we're pleased to announce Portfolio Monitor, a new and easier way to keep track of your investments. With a few clicks of the mouse, receive a monthly report that provides a comprehensive and customized summary of your portfolio, sent automatically to your inbox. Portfolio Monitor provides a concise digest of all the best features of premium membership. Become a premium member with our 14-day free trial to start receiving Portfolio Monitor today.